morning. 47 reasons why. Good morning, NWO. Good morning, Random News Draws. The countdown made you hungry? How, Joseph? How? Speaking of which, Thunderdome when? Just saying. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Matthew. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Kawan. Good morning, NWO, and the villainous Queen of Hearts. Good morning, figure drawing. Thursday. Thursday it is. What, morning brew style or what? So we're gonna talk about She-Hulk. And the funny thing is I actually thought this morning, like I lost my mind for a little bit. Because I thought it was Thursday. Like I woke up and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch She-Hulk before stream. And I realized that it was Tuesday. I was literally listening. Comic Boom every week does their reviews and they do it all together, right? Good morning, Hooded Justice. But I was listening to his reviews, his new comic book day reviews, and thinking that it was Thursday. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get my bugs. So we're gonna talk about She-Hulk. Now the thing here is it really doesn't have much to do with the show. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Carrie. The thing, there are two parts of this situation. Now, Jameela actually interacting with people that really don't like her show shows she's got balls, at least, right? But I also kind of wish at some point she would have just stopped and stopped giving them answers. And we're going to go through all that. I have a couple articles. We'll probably I'm cold. It is cold. I freaking hate my sweater on and I'm all stuck in it. Okay. We're just going to leave it be. Good morning, James. But she actually interacted with Geeks and Gamers and completely like they're twisting her words. And that's what's irritating about it is she talks about living her dream, right? And actually getting paid for it. And they're like, all she cares about is the money. So we're going to look at a couple of their videos. I think we've got, I think a couple people made one. I seen The Quartering, Ryan Cannell, and Geeks and Gamers, and I don't know. I'm sure there was more. Those were just the ones that I seen. So we'll take a look at that, but let me bring an article up here so I can kind of give you a little background. The situation with Jameela as Titania is very small. She doesn't have this massive role, and they changed her character a lot. There are really great interviews. Bianca sent them to me a while ago. I can't remember the channel's name, but about her talking how she actually, she was born in the same year that Titania was made and grew up on that character and really actually wanted more of a true Titania character, but she also likes the social media influencer aspect of it, the kind of bullshit that is all surrounded with it. Like we've seen so many times these social media influencers come out with bogus products, and they kind of even covered that in the show, right? So it would be nice to get to see her play a more true to form Titania, and it would be nice to see that side maybe come out because of the influence she has, but she's not got a big role in this entire thing. She's a side character. She's not even the main villain. The main villain seems to be at this point. What we're seeing is, you know what? I was going to use comic book movie, but I'll use the direct because that one seems better. The main villain seems to be Intelligentsia, and it's leading into Captain America 4, which then brings us. I'm thinking now. This is all like obviously me kind of theorizing where this is going to go. Planet Hawk or World War Hawk. I don't know. And it's weird because we're going to see like a whole bunch of Hawks, right? And that's cool. And I like that. But let's see Hulk get his own movie. Like, I know there's a rights issue, but come on, he deserves his own movie at this point. He really does. My biggest issue is her physique doesn't match the character at all. I don't really care about personality because it's obvious they want to make her a different person. Her physique, she's got some knockers. Like, are you talking about her being in good shape and having a good body? Is that what you mean? Because she's got some tiggle bitties. I like Jameel Jamelia also because long ago, I got into it with her. Good morning, Daniela. And um, we actually ended up kind of burying the hatchet, and she seems like a cool chick. She seems like one that's willing to engage, right? Whereas many others are just kind of over it, right? They're too big for you. There's a lot of stars that know, or at least in their eyes, think that they're better, right? She seems like she at least is at the point where she's still willing to engage. And I think that's rare. Like the reason they say never meet your heroes is because a lot of these celebrities are just completely narcissistic jackasses. I was annoyed she was grouping all people who had issues with the show as toxic. I agree. I don't think that's right either. Um, she responded and was a bit upset. I was angry at first, but had to stop because she had been getting dogpiled. Yeah, and I don't think that's cool either. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, and unfortunately, online you're gonna get that, right? Um, but I don't think all people that have criticisms of this show are at all toxic. Do I think there are some? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And we're going to go through it. The funny thing is, it's these people, like, we're going to look at Geeks and Game. Probably look at that first, because that's like what? The leader of that fandom menace type. Basically, it all comes down to Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean anything if it's a video. Like, nobody reviewed, as far as Rotten Tomatoes, like the new Gina Carano movies, right? Nobody reviewed it. And the Rotten Tomatoes score was nothing. It doesn't matter. But when it comes to She-Hulk, it's like, it's at a 36%. And I wonder how it got there. Like, we'll look at ratings too. I've got some ratings pulled up. Where that kind of breaks the idea that this show is doing terribly, right? Same thing with Rings of Power. Rings of Power is actually doing really, really well. When the ratings came out, it was an average of 10 million views per episode. But if you were to simply get your your information from this type group, you would never ever know that, right? You would think exactly the opposite. So basically, here's what she said. I should have gave you a headphone warning. That was really loud. Waiting for the final episode of She-Hulk, like this is obviously a product placement, right? She's getting paid by McDonald's, but now I'm starving. Why? Why? But yeah, this is just all. That's it. That's super controversial, right? You're so mad. I can feel you seething. I can feel you seething from here. It's not a big deal. And why did she put final episode? That's another thing I was confused about with this tweet, because episode 7 drops on Thursday. We still have 2 more. Like, this feels like it's a little early, but okay. All right. On that post and its retweets, Jamil responded to a number of trolls who criticized the series. And she put, LOL, why are so many men upset? Are y'all okay? Like, I get that. That's something I would fucking say. What a monster. Exactly, James. How could she? Eating French fries? The fucking nerve of her. It's weird they love House of Dragon, even though it's the wokest show of them all, right, Dennis? I have no interest in House of Dragon. The funny thing is, yesterday, someone tried to do this comparison to me. I said about, everybody has different likes and dislikes. And they're like, well, when you go to a restaurant, Don't you expect quality? Like, you know what? Thank you for that. Because there is a variety of different restaurants for a reason, because everybody has different taste. It's crazy, but we do. I have no interest in House of the Dragon. None whatsoever. I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. It's not made for me. I'm not really a medieval times type person, and I think that's what that is. Um, Even Game of what is it? Rings of Power. I gave it 2 episodes and I haven't gone back. Right? Was it 2? It was 2, right? They initially dropped 2. Pretty sure. Regardless, again, not really a fan of those type of storytelling. I like something, even though I do like grandiose storytelling. I do. But I'm always more drawn to stuff that are rooted and grounded. Hence my love for Batman. And the funny thing, even to kind of explore what Dennis said, is the actress that plays one of the girls in House of Dragon was like, I'm playing her like a Republican woman. And they're still championing that show, wiping that under, pretending they didn't say that. But they're going to go after Jamila because she simply said, why are y'all upset? Are you okay? Are you okay? After Game of Thrones last season, I haven't been able to bring myself. And I know that people had issue with that last season. I don't know anything about it. I just never really personally enjoyed that time period. I know it's not the same time as Middle Earth, but that kind of dragon-esque medieval storytelling. It's just not something I'm a huge fan of. Did I see No Way Home? Yes. I reviewed it a long time ago. A long time ago. Actually, kind of like the day or 2 days, 3 days maybe after it came out. I did enjoy it. I haven't seen Eternals or Shang-Chi yet or Thor Love and Thunder, but um many people will tell me I'm a Marvel shill even though I don't watch most of the stuff. In response, she deleted it. In a now deleted tweet from the same profile, Jamil highlighted how exhausting it is dealing with some of the commentary around the She-Hulk, particularly from select male viewers. Now, this isn't good morning, Angelo. This isn't controversial to say, but most of the outrage that we're hearing around this show, not all, obviously, because I have had people clip me when I said that about The Little Mermaid. Most of what we're hearing, the loudest voices, are from male viewers. The biggest complaints, the most that are making 40 videos, complaining about every single thing they say, whether it's Jamil, whether it is Titania Mosley or Jessica Chen, any of people involved. Most of the loudest voices are from men. I thought I sent you the screenshot. You did, but I didn't know if I was allowed to say that. I just want to be careful. So she goes on, okay, so she said, somebody now, okay, so this is deleted. Okay, am I toxic? You randomly were rude to me online without knowing me. You are toxic. A woman politely responded to your rudeness is toxic. You need our show because it highlights your type of behavior. Some men are exhausting for women to deal with and have no accountability. Wait. I am so fucking confused here. That was a fan. Okay. Okay, this is the part that's going to be controversial apparently. Like apparently it's controversial to say I'm living my dream and getting paid for it. But okay. She comes back here. She said, "Dude, who cares? I got to live my dream and be in a Marvel project and go to events where I got to meet all my favorite Marvel stars and talk to them about their movies. And I got paid. Like she's saying, I got to be part of this. On top of it, I got paid for it. How fucking cool, right? My cup is full, but how's yours going? Um, it's a spoof. That's the point. Do you still not understand that 7 episodes in? Of course they don't. That's the thing. They don't understand it because they're not actually watching it. And not all of them, obviously, again, but the issue is a lot of people are taking word of mouth. A lot of the criticism will come from people that they made all men either idiots or jerks. That is completely 100% false. If you're actually watching the show, you would know that's not true. I hear that narrative over and over again, but it's absolutely objectively false. Like her, like Abomination is doing fucking wonders. The whole last episode was all about great male friendship. It's amazing to me. If you say the same thing over and over again, it doesn't necessarily make it true. Make it true. He's a dumb character too. He's absolutely not. Extremely intelligent. Good morning, Reese. I see you in there with that LMAO. Reese's favorite show ever, quite possibly ever, is She-Hulk. I'm not sure if it's that or Miss Marvel. I know it's one of them. I saw 5 or 6 episodes and I didn't see anything to attack men. If the claim were true, that would actually make the show funny. Yeah, that's the problem. It doesn't. And if it's mean to men, it's just as mean to women. Like, I had a little bit of an issue. What was it? It was either episode 5 or 6, where it was Mallory and I can't think of the friend's name. They were talking, right? And Mr. Immortal just jumped out the window because it made it seem like these women having real criticism were nonsensical. And I actually, the wedding thing, like they're showing women in that episode as really, really mean. And it's weird. Good morning, Black Phoenix. So we're gonna switch over. Let's see. Who do you guys suggest? I'll leave it up to you guys. Where do we want to start? I guess I'm just imagining her coworker and boss being total retards. No, her coworker? Her coworker's her best friend. And her boss isn't a total retard. He's a good businessman. Who do you guys suggest? I'll go with the first. We got anti-men because Jen got dumped. No. She-Hulk gave us Madison and Wongers. And Madison was like amazing. I need her back. She was like the girl, and I know I talked about this when I reviewed the episode, but she was the girl that was always drunk. And I loved her because she's like, my name is Madison, but it's spelled different. And she spells it. And I always remember being that fucking annoying girl. That was me. Good morning, great old one. So, nobody. Okay, you guys are slackers and you're all fired. We'll just go with Geeks and Gamers. We'll see how ridiculous this is. I also don't know why my typey thingy isn't working. There we go. Keyboard. I also want to take a look here towards the end, and I already got permission. Reasonably why. Reasons why. Let's bash Gamers. So he wins. I wasn't a fan of Madison. What is Black Phoenix? She was adorable. She was everybody's drunk best friend. I was gonna say quiet. Yeah, I know. But you know what? You gotta tell me, Reese, which one's better? Actually, I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite. Miss Marvel I loved for a different reason. Miss Marvel I loved because the culture of it all was so beautifully done, right? So beautifully done. But this one I love just because everyone's calling it a feminist crap fest. And the funny thing about it, and I said this when we talked about it on stream with Liana and I had a ladies' night, it's like the first time we've gotten to really tell the female perspective a little bit with Black Widow. Now and I enjoyed that movie, but we get a real true female perspective. And I love it. You can't fire me, I quit. No. Okay. So we're going to take a look at Jesus fucking Christ, that just exploded in my ear. I didn't realize I had like my sound booster on. Oh my god. Rip my ears. Okay. Shock actress responds and destroys me. Says show is #1 in America. Actually, you know what? That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Because before I even share this, I will just back up her claims here. Has anyone seen Andor? I don't know anything about it, but I heard it was good. Cobra Kai also heard was good. Not a Cobra Kai person. Dahmer. That looks interesting. Looks weird. How is The Handmaid's Tale still on here? Is it really that good? So this was for streaming original September 19th. So this would have been episode what? Maybe episode 3, 4? I don't know. I just wanted to show that before we go into it. Cobra Kai is amazing. I've heard. Did you see those scumbags on Comics Elite talk about young Rippa and his comic? I know, right? We're gonna tear it apart. We're gonna talk about it. I started to just mention that, but we're also going to look. Now, to be fair, me and Rippa have no beef whatsoever, right? But I do want to go over it because if you would hear most of the internet, you would hear it as literally Jesus Christ coming again, right? God damn it, I have to stop myself from making a joke there. I stopped myself for the Christians. But good morning, Captain Frugal. But we're gonna take a look at Comics Elite. I'm sure they're getting a little bit of hate because of how fanatical his fan base is. I don't know for sure. I didn't look. But it's so funny. They were doing a premiere yesterday. They were doing a premiere, and it kind of spoilers here before we go into the video, but they gave it a 6.3 or a 6.5 out of 10. And I just went in there and I was silent the whole time until that came up. And I was like, oh, so how do I trigger these people really quick? Well, I gave Son of Kal-El a 7 out of 10. So I said, oh, it's worse than Son of Kal-El. Easy. You got people mouthing off right away. I'm like, that was good. That was good. I got to give it to myself. All right, let's take a look at this. Earphone warning, because I just blew mine out. Is that really loud, or is it because I'm using my Turtle Beach? That feels like it's loud. Let me turn it down on my end a little bit.
She-Hulk actress Jameela Jamil has had quite the day on Twitter, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, but she's been responding to a lot of people. Now, I made a video earlier talking about her meltdown on Twitter, and after I uploaded that video, she actually did respond to me, and we had a little bit of a back and forth there. But interestingly enough, as soon as I—
Wait, so he made 2 videos on the exact same thing? Yeah, he did. Are you serious? Okay.
negativity, but we will get into that. So let's go over here. So this is what started all of it. She responded to someone.
No. You're not just going to gloss over whatever you just had up there.
Positivity instead of the negativity, but we will get into that. So let's go over here. So this is what started.
She-Hulk actress said she doesn't care. Literally didn't. This is the one I posted on my community post. I didn't know if I was going to cover this or not, so I posted it on my community post. I'm like, is my mic sound okay? Am I going in and out? Hold on. Let me move my mic a little bit forward. I got out of this. It should be working fine. Okay. I posted on my community post. I didn't know if I was going to go over it, and then I was like, I got nothing tomorrow. I'm like, no, I want to start doing, depending on what happens, I think I'm going to start dedicating Tuesdays to strictly DC, which is what I usually do in top books of the week, but I'll make a video for that. And then I want to start really showcasing some more indies, because there's so many good indie books out right now. I just read Grimm from last week. Oh, I freaking love that book so much. Okay. So he said, She-Hulk actress said she doesn't care if the show is successful because she already got paid. Amazing. Imagine taking someone's words, right? That's like me going, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers just said, because he was talking about the show, that he doesn't like it because it's led by a woman. I mean, to be fair, people do that. But she never said that at all. She said, dude, who cares? I got to live my dream and be in a Marvel project and go to events where I got to meet all of my favorite Marvel stars and talk to them about their movies, and I got paid. Like saying, not only am I fucking living my dream, I'm getting paid to live my dream. Where did she say she doesn't care if the show is successful? I'll wait. Oh, wait, it doesn't exist. So Jeremy's straight up lying. Shocker. Because she already got paid. Literally, that whole fucking tweet is a lie. And these people believe him. Honestly, I know some of you guys are fans. I know there's a bit of crossover. Maybe not like there used to be, but I know there's a bit of crossover, right? How? How do you see this man lie over and over again and then actually believe him, right? How do you actually think that that's what she said, even in the slightest? Okay, all right. She said the show is successful. We went number 1 in America last week. I showed you that. Breezen is such a fucking troll. But yes, I do. It's not the best show in the world. It's not the worst either. You know what? I would be curious what you guys think. What do you like better? Stargirl or She-Hulk? I loved Stargirl the first 2 seasons. I did. But this season, She-Hulk is winning. She-Hulk is better. Stargirl has always been my one show I really, really brag about. And this season just hasn't been near as good. And it's really a little disappointing. We haven't seen Bones. Frustrating, right? It's frustrating. But yeah, Stargirl, you do. I don't know. I feel like they did so good in the first 2 seasons. This one feels so lax. Like we know Cameron's gonna get powers. Oh my God, look, they're gonna kiss. We knew that since season 1. Like, just progress the plot. The gambler was gonna be a good guy and you killed him. Shiv is obviously Dragon King. Like, these things aren't a surprise anymore. Give us something new. That's my issue. It's a great mystery. There's no mystery to it. We know it's Shiv. We know she's had some issue with what she's found in her dad's thing. We know it's going to be her, but it's going to be a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. No mystery whatsoever.
All of it. She responded to someone who basically said that you're not going to get a season 2. Then she responded, dude, who cares? I got to live my dream and be in the Marvel project. I covered this earlier today. She essentially...
The thing is having a season 2 doesn't mean if it's successful or not. A lot of times, still on episode 1 of season 2 for Stargirl, you still got the good stuff going, Reese. Season 2 was definitely my favorite. So much to live up to in season 2. It's so good. And you're going to get like obsidian little Easter eggs, and oh, you're gonna love it. But season 2 doesn't necessarily mean, like, a lot of times, yeah, a show won't get a season 2 because it wasn't successful. Case in point, Jupiter's Legacy and Y the Last Man, of which I liked the latter. I liked Y the Last Man. But it wasn't successful. There are shows that will not get something because it's not, pulling in the audience. There are stuff that is successful that does not get a season 2. I hate to break it to you guys, but Cowboy Bebop's numbers were didn't get a season 2. I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like it. There are things from a shared universe standpoint as to why you don't get a season 2. Look at WandaVision. No season 2. Very successful. At least as of yet. I don't know if there's going to be one. I know there's going to be a Loki season 2 for sure. What was it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Do we know anything about that? Like, these were successful properties, but from a narrative standpoint, sometimes they tie into the universe in different ways, right? We've got Captain America 4 coming. That's going to tie in there. This is also going to tie in there. So there are different ways. Sandman. I'm still dying to know, right? It's every day. It's every day with them. But that's still in the top 10 shows. But it's still no season 2. It also has to do with expense. There's a lot of reasons. You can't equate it to just one thing. Also, we don't even know. Like, it's way too soon to find out. We haven't even finished this season yet. Don't talk about the Cowboy Bebop Netflix series. That was one of the worst anime adaptations of all time. I didn't finish it. I know a couple people liked it. A couple people hated it. It was so mid to me. It was boring. You have to, in order for me to actually like follow through with a show, you have to really get me invested. And the only 2 shows was Peacemaker this year. 3 shows this year to have done it. It was Peacemaker, Sandman, She-Hulk, and a little bit of Stargirl, right? I don't know. Look how long, to be fair, look how long the Marvels of the Universe Revelation Season 3. Long enough that the anti-HJWs assumed it was canceled. No, yeah. It got a Season 2. It was successful. There was... they don't realize they're just feeding the machine. They're just giving them free press. Superman and Lois Season 2, I did not watch yet. I finished Season 1. I haven't went on to Season 2. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just a little boring. Like, it's all right. You got to understand, I'm not a person to watch stuff. I'm a reader. So you really have to get me invested.
She just said, I don't care if we get a season 2 because I've already gotten paid and I got everything I wanted out of it.
That's not what she said, even in the slightest. Okay.
I didn't think that was a very smart tweet, so I just retweeted. Said She-Hulk actress said she doesn't care if the show is successful because she already got paid. Amazing. So she responds to me. And she ratios me. I think I'm going to put that in the title. She-Hulk ratios me or something like that. We'll see.
Like, because she didn't say that at all. She didn't say that. That's so disingenuous.
She says the show is successful. We were #1 in America last week. Really? Okay. If we don't get a season 2,
yeah, really, I just showed you.
am beyond happy with what we have. We made a lot of people happy, and we were happy and loved it. So I responded, and I said, if the show is a success, as you say, there will be a season 2, and none of the so-called haters will matter.
Again, we just went through. Obviously, it's not finished. And different situations when shows have been successful and not got a season 2, or when it would matter for the narrative of the universe at large, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen in Captain America 4. I'm going to have, you know what? I wouldn't have even went and seen it until, I don't know that I'll go to the theaters. I wouldn't have even probably watched it if it didn't have She-Hulk in it. I'll be very fair there. Like, I don't have a whole lot of interest.
Which begs the question, why do you continue to focus on negativity when you claim there is so much positivity? Because
That's not a good question. You have to engage with both the criticism and the positivity. Because if not, you'll never learn from past mistakes. You have to be able to engage a healthy amount of engagement. Obviously, don't engage with somebody that's just like, well, I think you're ugly, therefore you can't be Titania. That's not real criticism, right? There are real criticisms to be had. We've went over them. The CGI, bad. Some of the like crazy psychotic women, like jumping out the window to get away from, like, some of the stuff can be improved upon. If you don't engage with that, you'll just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again and expect different outcomes. And that won't happen.
She's the one saying, "Oh no, there's so much positivity. There's so much positivity we can't even keep up with it." Well, then why are you focusing on the negativity? It makes no sense. I mean, just like me, it's not like I'm saying there's so much great entertainment out there I can't stand it, but yet I focus on negativity. Well,
that's because you don't make positive content. I think I've only ever seen one video on his channel. We can look here at the end because I don't want to say it if I'm wrong, but I think I've only ever seen one video that was positive on his channel. I think it was Cobra Kai. I'm almost positive that's the only thing I've ever heard him say positive. The thing is he's not. This is a culture warrior, right? This isn't somebody that necessarily cares about all the things they're talking about. They care about it for the aspect of left versus right. They care about it for that reason. If you were sitting here, and saying you were such a huge She-Hulk fan, I could take it seriously. But you're not a huge fan or anti-fan, I don't know, of these things. It's a cultural aspect that you're looking at it.
Most of the shit we're getting is negative. That's why I focus on the negativity. She's saying there's all this positivity out there, but you're arguing with all of the haters. Because why? Because there seems to be more negativity than positivity. But anyway.
Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet. Have you ever heard that song? You should look it up. I think it's Bo Burnham. Oh my God, it's so funny.
She responded. She says, because we don't, because why only lives, why only live in a...
He's a racist POS and love hearing the shit that comes out of his mouth. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. To be fair, and I think, great old one, you've been around, not like, I do remember you being around when I used to be an idiot. To be fair, some people can change their ways and realize that a lot of what they're spewing, because there's a difference in races, right? There are people that are racist on purpose. There are people that have those views, and there are people that follow the herd, so to speak, or are ignorant to a lot of things. And it takes a good amount of wanting to go forward and actually doing the research and understanding these types of things. You have to want to do it. I don't think he wants to do it. Maybe somebody in his crowd will open up their eyes, but I don't know.
A bubble, I'm sorry, congratulations. I engage plenty with the people who love the show. And I said, hey, fair enough. I can't really argue with
That's a great response. That's a great response, honestly.
That. I don't like the show at all, but I'm fine with others enjoying it. And I am. And Chris Gore, someone that I highly respect, likes She-Hulk. Have I said he's wrong? Have I said he's a bad person? No, Chris Gore is fantastic, and he will continue to be fantastic. We can have different opinions. Everybody can have different opinions. Different opinions aren't the problem. It's weaponizing things. It's when other people that disagree with you try to label you something.
I had a drink in my mouth when he said that. And but I'm fine with other people enjoying it. Okay. I don't know who Chris Gore is. Anyone? Anyone? Again, for a guy who's not racist, he loves to get upset over non-white lead characters and non-white straight males. Because I did see, as I clicked on this earlier, that he was upset about bros. Did you guys see that? I haven't seen the movie. I don't have that much interest in going to the movies for that, but I'll probably watch it when it comes on streaming. It looks hilarious. Like, it truly looks funny. But they're white men, but they're not straight, right?
because you don't like something they like. That's the problem with a lot of the stuff going on in the fandom. It's the weaponization of it. That's why we are always battling against that. It's not a difference of opinion. Are there people out there that genuinely like She-Hulk? Absolutely. Do I have a problem with people that genuinely like She-Hulk? No. Not at all. I have a problem with people that are weaponizing this show and then trying to tell everyone that doesn't like it that they are this, that, or the other. As always, I have a reason for everything I do. I always have a method to my madness. Now, she didn't respond to that, to my knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of the weirdos, they're like, oh, no, you're lying. You're going to make videos. Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of videos.
Right, because it's generally extremely profitable. Like, the funny thing is there's this weird narrative, and it's not just him. It's a lot of these channels that spew it. Like, we talked about one on Sunday, Attack on Masculinity. Where? Who's out there like, masculinity is a problem? We highlighted some of the best masculine books like Flash, right? They act like there's this attack on like Christmas during Christmas. There's this attack on this type of thought in general. But this conservative leaning channels on YouTube are 100% the norm. Like 100% the norm. I don't know a whole lot of channels that go against what Geeks and Gamers say. Like, I'm honestly trying to think of someone. Maybe like the Lonely Banter. I'm honestly trying, not against them, like, because they don't like him. I mean, like, his thought process. Like, they pretend like it's wrong think, but it's the normal. Like, they pretend that they have these bad opinions when their opinions are of the populace, right? At least a lot of the more political stuff. Maybe not the She-Hulk stuff. Maybe not always when it comes to, different nerdy type things. But when it comes to political things, it's populist talk.
Videos. Because that's what I do. That doesn't change the fact that if you like the show, I'm okay with that. These weirdos have nothing upstairs. They can't think because they don't have a fucking brain. They're just so angry. And they're really mad. They're really mad that she was even having a discussion. Why bother with this loser? He's nothing more than an alt-right pop culture reactionary.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie, though? I don't know. Like, what is alt-right? I guess alternative right. I always think of alt-right as like super right, like maybe he's not alt-right, but he's definitely right. Because whenever I think of alt-right, I think of like, what's their name? Politically something. Like the girl that goes on channels and says she's for ethno-states and segregation. That's what I think of when I think of alt-right. Like the crazy ass people. But he's definitely far right.
Literally hangs out with people. Like, holy shit. Like, look how far it's going. Look at the next line. Like, these people are insane. But this did continue on with different people.
Jeremy is very far, at least. Pretends to be far right. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah. But when I think of, like, super far right, I think of those. What is it? Come on. Somebody help me. Politically adverse or something like that. Hold on. I'm trying to look it up. Politically provoked. Have you guys ever heard of them? Oh my God. I had never seen anything like them before. And I seen them go on The Amazing Lucas, who is gotten worse. I like Amazing Lucas when it comes to some of his thoughts, but God bless it. He is so homophobic. So homophobic. But he had on Politically Provoked. So I decided to be nosy and go look at their chat. And every single thing was racial slurs. I can't even say what it was. It was just disgusting. Disgusting to say the least. And I was like, I didn't know these people even existed, right? Oh my God.
Well, there were a lot of people involved in this conversation. Now, this is one of the things I responded to her with. This was before we had our back and forth. But yeah, I mean, Kim Wexler is one of the best television characters I've seen in a long time.
Does anyone know who that is? This girl specifically? Female lawyers written by men, females lawyer written by women. Notice how they take a screenshot of a post-credit scene of something that was played for laughs. They don't actually take her doing any sort of lawyering because that wouldn't fit the narrative, right? That wouldn't fit the narrative.
And what makes her great is that she was brought into a pre-existing story of characters that we already knew and loved. And we wanted to know more about that story. Now, it was a prequel, but Kim played such a powerful role in that whole story of better.
Yeah, exactly. Figure drawing. Amazing Lucas can be funny sometimes. He takes a lot of races to bat, right? But holy fucking shit. That dude calling like anything that is remotely within the LGBT community white culture and just it's not allowed, like, oh, it's pretty fucking bad. Pretty fucking bad. Oh, Better Call Saul. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not familiar. I've never seen Breaking Bad, but I've seen like scenes, but I'm just not, it's not for me.
Better Call Saul. She complimented every single aspect of it. In some way, she was the best character. She's arguably one of the best characters in the entire show. That's crazy. But female lawyer written by men versus female lawyer written by women. It's a meme. Chill, people. But there's some truth to that meme for sure. And yeah.
Not really. It just fits your narrative, and that's fine. You do you. But the problem, it's not even a problem, right? We live in America. I'll defend his right to say his stupid shit. But it's just, you're influencing. Literally, that's what you're called. It's an influencer. You're influencing people to believe your bullshit. And you clearly, like, right in the beginning, right off the bat, you lied. Right off the bat, you lied.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Now, she has continued on with this we have the #1 show deal, okay? So right here, She-Hulk Attorney at Law has tops the weekly whip U.S. streaming originals chart. All right, she's also got a picture here where she's like basically flipping everybody off. That's right. And it's based on this one right here. Wow, thanks so much for making She-Hulk #1. And this is streaming originals. And there's a lot of questions around these numbers. And again, it doesn't matter to me if you're #1.
Oh, there's also, if you guys looked at Samba when it came out, it was comparable to I think it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think it did quite as well as WandaVision, right? But it was at least comparable. What the? Comparable. Good morning, RC Scott. Good morning, Real Dragon. Good morning, Merlin Junk. I miss you guys. Good morning, DJF. Galadriel is pure cringe. Am I wrong? I don't know. I've only seen 2 episodes, and I probably won't go back. I'm not going to lie. I probably won't go back. Just because I am not interested. I don't know. It just didn't get me that much on like, oh, I got to see this shit, right? It just wasn't that good. Good morning, Elon. I thought I said earlier good morning. Did I miss it? We are not sheep out here. I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but if you believe, not gonna lie, if you believe what Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers are selling, yeah, you are. Oh, that's another thing they do. You know, earlier I was talking about like how they pretend there's a war on Christmas or a war on masculinity or this or that. They also pretend like they're free thinkers. Like, we are not the sheep. And I'm not saying that's what you meant. What? Okay. All right, sure. You're the free thinkers that believe what everybody else thinks. Okay. What's interesting about his argument is me and my brother had similar discussion. We both came to the agreement both genders can suck. Just look at the list for worst comics. It's mostly guys. Oh yeah. It's not like there's a gendered thing like all men or all women. No, that's dumb. That's dumb to even think. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniela. There's a war on traditional masculinity in the West. I hope you're not serious, NWO. I mean, you might be, but no, there's not. Traditional masculinity is norm. Gay movie meltdown. That's his first thing that pops up. Where is it? Wow, he makes a lot of videos. I wish I could have this output though. I'm not gonna lie, like that's quick. I'm lucky if on a stream day I get a video up. I usually don't. No, it's a short one too. Good.
She-Hulk has been an absolute disaster so far for Marvel, and it shouldn't be a surprise because if you were paying attention, they told you from the beginning that the point of this series was not to entertain people, wasn't to create compelling characters. The point was to virtue signal. The point was to tell
the what? Is this motherfucker serious? He can't be. He can't believe this. Okay, so they told you from the beginning that the point was not to entertain. Nope, they never said that. The point was, oh, this guy, yeah, he's hella racist. Hella fucking racist. The point was to virtue signal. Fucking where? Where? See what I say about culture warriors? Yes, it's a massive war on traditional masculinity. Are you kidding me? The #1 movie this year was all about masculinity. The #2 movie this year had 3 times masculinity. Modern men are becoming more feminine. Where? And emasculated because what? Are you fucking kidding, NWO? Please do some research. That whole black men being raised by single mothers is an absolute lie made up by the media. Please look it up before you say dumb shit like that. I like you, NWO, a lot, but that's a complete lie. There's actually studies done that black fathers are more in their kids' life, that they spend more time reading, that they spend more time getting them ready for school or interacting with them. That whole single mother bullshit is 100% a lie. Please do your research.
The story from a very certain perspective. And if you're not down with that, if you're not down with telling a story that's solely written for 40-year-old lonely, bitter women, well, then we don't want you watching. And they have proceeded.
Wait, hold on. I'm still on this masculinity thing. Do you think masculinity is just like big muscles? Because that's objectification. Masculinity is not one thing. Masculinity is being there for your children. Masculinity, give me the proof, NWO. Give me the proof. Give me your statistics. I don't know if it's different in the UK, but in the US, that is 100% a fabricated lie. Masculinity is providing. Masculinity is not just big muscles, ooh, I'm a man. Like, come on. Exactly. Elon said it best. Masculinity is a lifestyle. Masculinity is not just objectification of men's bodies.
To attack the fan base over and over and over again. You see that it's been completely and totally rejected across every different spectrum that you could possibly imagine. People
where? In your little circle? Maybe get outside of it. That's the problem. It's a circle of backpats, right? Like they all have the same opinion for the most part, and they all make the same videos for the most part.
Despise She-Hulk, but the media is out there supporting it because in She-Hulk, toxic fandom becomes the big bad. They are so happy.
That's the media. That has nothing to do with the show. Maybe watch the show and you will realize that the big bad is intelligentsia. That the big bad is intelligentsia, which is like, the Injustice Society, kind of, right? Like, it's not, oh, Jesus Christ.
That they're going after the toxic fans, that they're telling you they fucking despise you. Well, now an actress for She-Hulk, who's been in a couple episodes, Jameela Jamil, is out there doing some promotion for the show. And someone says, it's kind of a garbage show. Well, she tells it like it is. She is brutally honest, which is a big mistake because they've revealed that they don't actually give a fuck about you. They don't care about their show. All they care about is that they get paid. Look at this.
She don't give a fuck about you. She's literally interacting with the fan base, or at least trying her hardest to, right? But she don't give a fuck about you. Logic, buddy, use it.
This from Titania, which is what she changed it to. Jameela Jamil, waiting for the final episode of She-Hulk, like...
They fucking despise you. How do you know? Because he just has... Because you hear... That is something you hear in every single one of these people's videos. It's a fucking talking point. It's a talking point. They hate you? Then why would she interact with you? If she fucking hated you, why would she take time out of her day to try to understand your criticisms of the show? Stop it. Who's buying your bullshit?
And I'll play a little bit. There you go, just sitting there eating French fries. So
I just wish they would have gotten rid of the Peggy Bundy hair. I'm sorry, I can't unsee it. Like, she's adorable, just being like, you know, kind of being quirky, like her character is, right? But give her a different haircut. I get it, it looks like Titania, but no, I can't unsee it. Daniela, I almost said Jameela. Daniela, thank you so much. So the message these guys want us they want to give is men shouldn't show emotion or be vulnerable. These guys really need to travel the world. Reality check, right? And that's what I'm saying is it's you're allowed to show emotion. That's also part of masculinity, right? Right? Being vulnerable with your spouse, being vulnerable with your close, whether it's your spouse or your bros, right? Knowing when to be vulnerable, knowing when to be strong. These are all big things in masculinity that they pretend doesn't exist. It's just, I don't buy it. A reality check is an absolute must-have. It is. I'm sorry. It's so bad.
Entertaining. Got 357,000 views. Incredible. Someone responds. All that buildup of 20-minute episodes for nothing to happen. You won't be seeing a second season fry. Well, she responds. Titania responds.
I get what she was going for. And I am, good morning, Ingleton. Can you sound out? You know what? There are some people that come in and like, what's going on? Like, just chill. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, yeah. I get what she was going for. She's trying to just interact with the fan base. But I'm also like, guilty of doing that. I had a video yesterday that pissed off a bunch of Snyder bronies because I didn't like Man of Steel. And they're like going hard at me. And I'm like, these are opinions. You know that, right? Like, I can tell you why I don't like it, but I don't have to keep justifying it over and over again. So I just stopped looking. I'm like, I don't care anymore. If you like it, I'm fucking happy for you. This was a one-off video. I'm not going to make 74 and a half more videos telling you why I'm not a big fan of Man of Steel. I'm also not going to go around for anybody, like whether it's Amy Adams or Henry Cavill, and check all of their social media and make videos about all their tweets. This is just a one-off video on a movie that I didn't care for.
Dude, who cares? I got to live my dream and be in a Marvel project and go to events where I got to meet all my favorite Marvel stars and talk to them about their movies. And I got paid. My cup is full. But how is your life going? I don't care. I don't care if the show won't get a second season. I don't care if it's garbage. I don't care if
you can't be. She didn't say any of that. Not a single amount of that. Not a damn word. Nothing is worse than when you are talking to someone and they start putting words in your mouth. Have you ever had that fight with somebody that you're like, I don't like pink? And they're like, so what you're saying is your favorite color is purple? Like, no. I just said I don't like pink. I didn't say my favorite color was purple. Actually, it's lime green. Oh, so what you're saying is pink is a color for girls. No, I just said I don't like the color. This is what he's doing.
Fans hate it. I don't care if we're attacking the Marvel audience. I got paid, bro. I got my money. Audience, you can go fuck yourself. If this gets canceled.
What is actually, like, is he on some straight upper. Oh, I got it sped up. Okay, I take that part back. I realized I got it sped up. But bro, who hurt you? Who fucking hurt you to make you this mad that she got to live her dream and get paid while doing her dream? That you're so mad about. She didn't say a single word of what you said, and you're equating it to something bad. She was saying, I did something positive with my life and I did something I love and got paid for it, but sure, make shit up. Literally, I like pink too. That was just a bad example. Pink and lime green are really my favorite colors. That was just a bad example. His mom hurt him, and apparently every woman in his life. And I'm not just blaming women, but goddamn, if you're gonna choose to reproduce, choose to be a good mother. Jesus.
Who cares? Who cares? I got paid. I got to talk to all these big stars. So I'm happy, even if we turn the audience off, even if we attack the fan base, even if we made every single man in this entire series either an idiot or evil or incompetent or a complete fucking loser. Hey.
Again, that's exactly what, was it Jeremy that said that, or was it somebody in the chat? Somebody in the chat. That's completely false. Completely false. Like, her besties the last episode were all dudes. And they were the best guys. And they were there for her. They were, dare I say it, they used a positive masculinity to make her feel welcome. They took their masculinity and they were like, you know what? I'm going to support this girl. Because I understand what it's like to be down. They're fucking awesome. All villains. You're so full of it. You haven't watched it. I don't believe you've watched it if you think all men are villains in this.
We're fine with all the men leaving the Marvel audience. We're fine with turning our fan base off. If she doesn't even stop at this tweet, somebody responds here, and yet the show you got to star in will forever be remembered as not only the worst thing Marvel Studios has ever made. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I've said it multiple times.
I'm trying to think of the worst thing. Yeah, Hawkeye wasn't that great. I noped out on that one after 2 episodes. It was all right. The worst thing, what's the worst thing Marvel's ever made? A lot of people say Age of Ultron, but I kind of loved it because it was like Ultron was the smartest thing alive, but yet he didn't know the word for children. I kind of loved it. Maybe Iron Man 2. I don't know, because I haven't seen everything Marvel's ever made. I haven't seen stuff like Captain Marvel. I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff. So I don't freaking know what the worst thing is. But it's definitely not that. No, Inhumans. Oh, good point. I forgot about Inhumans. And then you also have to add in stuff like Agents of the Shield and Runaways, which is not the worst thing. It's really good. If you guys haven't seen Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, like, it's far from the worst thing Marvel's ever made.
But one of the worst shows ever made, period. And you will be remembered as the actress who hurt her asshole on set.
Didn't you hear? Supporting women is considered unmasculine these days. Then we, not you and me and Daniela, me and whoever would think that, have 2 different ideals of masculinity. Yes, that was like such a fucking like using it.
Hilarious. That's true.
Iron Fist. Good point, NWO.
It's 100% true. I'm sorry you never got to have the fun I've had, and that nobody will remember you for anything at all. Can't be easy. Make chin up.
Okay, she did kind of go a little hard on there. Sorry, you won't be remembered for anything at all. Like, this orange guy could be like a doctor, right? He could be like a neonatal doctor. Like, I doubt it, but I'm just saying she doesn't know.
She's probably going to get destroyed on this tweet. I think Titania, Jameela Jamil with 1 million followers, is going to get destroyed throughout this entire thread.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. It's whereas YouTube leans extremely right, Twitter leans extremely left. There's also, conservative Twitter, right? But it is more left leaning. Same with TikTok, it leans a little left, but there's a huge conservative TikTok thing, and I got into a rabbit hole the other day. Holy fuck. It was so cringy. Like, I posted one of them because I had to share it. Like, I put something in front of it. It was transformative. But the girl was like, Did you guys know that Trump was knighted, and now that Queen Elizabeth is dead, who knows? Maybe he could be the next king of England. I was like, fuck. You're in a cult, honey, if that's what you think. Not Trump supporters. This woman in particular. I have to be careful with my words because people will clip them and then be like, Tristan thinks all Trump supporters are in a cult. Okay. Is he aware that she is tweeting in character? She has been tweeting in character since the show. Oh, I didn't know that even. I did not know that. Oh, that's smart. You know how like they do the solicitations and Harley does her own solicitation, so she kind of does that kind of a thing? See, I didn't know because I don't use the platform, but no, I'm guessing he doesn't know because he didn't mention that. That's cute though. That's what I like about her is she's not jaded by Hollywood yet. She doesn't hate everyone yet. She's willing to engage and she's willing to do fun stuff like just sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm eating a french fry." Like it's cute. That's cute. I had no idea.
This is the fucking attitude that has caused Marvel to nosedive, to plummet. Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been a disaster. There's a reason that after D23, after the disappointing Marvel showing at D23,
Marvel Phase 4 has been a disaster. I really like this. I really liked Miss Marvel. I liked Moon Knight also. I'm trying to think of what else is in Phase 4. I don't think I've seen any movies in Phase 4 besides Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I need to. It's easy to do. It's just like if I'm gonna watch a Thor movie, I would much rather just go back and read Dan Jurgens' run on Thor. Like it's something great, and I got to get out of that habit. Phase 4 has been inconsistent. I wish I knew more of the movies. Is it like would like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is that still Phase 4? See, I don't even know. I will say it's definitely not the best phase. That's pretty clear. I think a lot of us looked at like Endgame, that era, peak Marvel. But I love the shows. I actually think the shows are really smart because you get little digestible pieces. You get more character work. You get to kind of flesh out your characters a little bit more. And I think if they did like a Jane Fought, I know she's dead, but like if they had done a show, I would be more invested. I'm not super invested in Thor as a character. An unmitigated disaster. But it's got your favorite show. How can you say that when you love Miss Marvel and She-Hulk?
23.
Oh, Black Widow. Good point. I saw Black Widow. I loved that movie. Like that, I was crying in the first 5 minutes. Crying!
They were getting a lot of shit for their performance, for the fact that they announced nothing that people care about. There's a reason that like 2 weeks after, suddenly Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman come out with a very low production value advertisement to announce Deadpool 3. It's because it was an emergency. They needed that.
Wait, he thinks they were just like, oh, D23 or whatever he called it, D3, D6, D4.5 wasn't good. So now let's put this out. No, that's Ryan Reynolds to a T. That's how he does shit. They didn't come out because it was, I mean, maybe. I don't know what D23, I don't know what happened there. But wait, no. They teased it before. So it had nothing. Okay, sure, buddy. Whatever.
Because of the damage that they've done to Marvel. Because of the fact that so many people are disengaged. They needed that. It was an emergency announcement. Oh, guess we need to bring the straight white men back into the picture for you guys with characters that you care about so you don't.
It was an emergency announcement. Oh my God. He just said straight white men characters. Fucking cringe. That was announced beforehand, but it was an emergency. Because I remember seeing a short. Oh, I think it was like Yanny Nerdverse or something. Did a short where it had like Wolverine's claws and it said like 3 days. So it was an emergency announcement announced previously. Okay.
Leave right now. This is the type of attitude that has caused Marvel to go down this path. This is the reason this show's sitting so pathetically low. This is the reason that people.
You can't use Rotten Tomatoes on one video and say that's why it's so bad, but then literally in another video say Rotten Tomatoes scores don't matter. Bro, you can't have it both ways.
Are walking away from Marvel. It's happening in the box office. It's happening with Disney Plus. It's happening everywhere because people like this. The people associated.
In it, isn't the second biggest movie of the year this year a Marvel movie that made over $1 billion? But it's happening in the box office. Okay, I totally believe you. You are 100% super duper credible. Super duper credible. Goodness gracious. Deadpool will definitely do so well. I think everyone was like instantly excited about that. Instantly. Hey, they did a good job with that announcement. I don't pay attention to critic score. All I care about is I don't pay attention to the scores at all. Like, yeah, I'll look every once in a while. But there are certain critics I trust, which is a good segue into my next little thing here. But there are also the idea of if I'm going to invest my time into something, I want to go in, sort of unspoiled in a way. I want to be able to make up my own mind. I can't wait to see Deadpool 3, right? Oh my God, that announcement was so good. We're going to take a look at this. ISOM #1 review. But first, we got to do this. Drew, if you see this later on, thumbs up. But all you got to do in the beginning here, look. See how it shows them? Just clip that little, just clip it a second. You do that every video. See if he's getting... Wow, Pandemic was a 6 point... Okay, so I don't... Oh, Pandemic, I think... Is that a book? Pretty sure. Bit disappointing. Well, good for them. I did see one yesterday that commented on because I smell jealousy. Oh my God! Stop it, you fucking fanatics! There was one I seen yesterday. He's not as bad as what I thought. Not as bad at all. This is the one I seen yesterday. Very disappointing with the good camera quality and the poor review. And I just put great review. Fixed it. I'm just being an asshole. But I wanna talk about this. I have a review coming out. Today's Tuesday. So probably tomorrow of Born of Blood 2 also. Which Born of Blood 1, if you guys did not see, was a top seller on the Bleeding Cool list. Number 8, beating out fucking Star Wars. That is so cool. I came back because I smelled jealousy. Good morning, in Fantasy I Die. Good morning, Daniel's Hot Topic.
What's up, guys? I'm Drew with Comics Elite here with Kyle, not Kevin. It's going to be a quickie, relatively, compared to other reviews. What's that? Just one book? Just one book, yes. You're still waiting on yours, though. I got mine. Yeah, I got mine. ISOM, #1 from Young Rippa, Air July. Yeah, I can't knock. I got Dolan Wadick is my pen name. He's got his pen name, so hey, that's cool. Yeah, it can get confusing. I thought people are like, "What's your name?" I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he gets it all the time too.
Me too.
Yeah, sure. Yes, you do. And so if you're new here, please remember, like, subscribe, comment.
That he's wearing what is that dog's name? Dang it. Not Scooby-Doo. Come on, guys. Snoopy.
Notification bell. Yeah. So, ISOM #1. We'll start off with the covers. I do not like the covers.
I don't like any of them.
None of the covers, no. And so, here at Comics Elite, one of the things we specialize.
How many of you guys got this book? I was going to go back and get it. I don't think I am after... Not this. It's got nothing to do with this. I just don't. There's so many good books out there right now that if I'm going to support something for $35, it's got to be really good. There's so many good indies like at Boom, AWA, Artist Elite, Merc. Like, there's so much good product out right now. I can't bring myself to do it. And that's mean. I know it's mean, but I guess I'm kind of a bitch. You guys know that now.
In are covers.
Sean knows covers.
Exactly. Sean knows covers.
Yep.
And we showed these covers to Sean.
We did.
He was not impressed.
Kind of looks like Superman and Zod and Fiora. Yeah, I knew people were comparing it to that before. I will say, Cliff Chang did the art, and I just read his book, The 06 Protocol. And she's definitely a Mary Sue, but I really enjoyed it.
At all.
Yeah, he was like, these are way off.
Yes, these are interior pages.
Mhm.
They made as covers. This is like what Marvel does.
It looks like a
for
splash
certain
page.
They take interior pages and make them covers.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think why it would have been done.
Ingleton, I find myself not drawn to independent superheroes. The funny thing is I'm the same way. And I've never heard anyone else say that, so I'm glad I'm not too crazy. When I go indie, I want a different story. I love my superheroes. I do. But I get plenty of them from DC. I get plenty of them from Marvel. When I go indie, I want something like the Department of Truth, right? Something that's going to take me on a different journey. Even something like Philip Todd or Animal Castle or Stray Dogs. Just a different type of story. Something with a unique concept, not superheroes. And I love superheroes. But when I go indie, I'm looking for something different.
I don't know. I mean, first time out.
Yeah.
But I felt like you look at crowdfunding, what they're doing right now. Most of these artists bring in other artists to do different covers.
Yeah.
Because he has what, 3?
Speaking of which, I know they have, if you guys are going to New York Comic Con, they have Born of Blood #1 new variant coming out. But yeah, that's a good point. Is when you do covers, when you do variants, you know, A, B, or C or whatever, you should seek out a different artist. And I'm not saying you have to, and it's his first time around, but you should seek out something different. And Drew's really good with that. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the covers that they do at Merc Magazine. They may be a little nutty, some of them, but some of them are drop dead gorgeous. They've had Jamie Tyndall and just they got Sager, like so many good artists to do covers of Giaras.
Yeah,
at least an A, B, and C.
Yep, that's all he's got. He's got A, B, and C.
And it's like, yeah, do something cool. Have somebody come in. Have a Dale Keown do a cover. Have an EVS do a cover.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Kyle a lot, but Dale Keown, like, he's an amazing artist. If he's not drunk and he's awake, maybe suggest, like, Drew just said in the chat. Stuart Sager, Ryan Brown, like so many good artists they have there.
Aaron Lepresti,
Andy Smith.
Andy Smith would be perfect for this.
Ooh, Steve Rude.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had so many other artists could have at least sent you something, and you could at least used it or not. That I felt was a big misstep.
Because we know covers here.
Yeah.
Working under Sean, we know covers. We got them all over the place. These are not covers. These are not good.
No, they're just interior pages.
Yes.
Cover A is not the only one that might pass.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Still, at the same time,
not.
all I'm going to say is I'm about 99% certain of this. If Eric July had not just EVS or Steve or anyway, if he had got one of our guys, one of our
yeah,
Nathan,
he could have sold mountains, and he could have used, like, in the nicest way possible, you use the Yaira character and made some sexy covers. I am a girl saying that. I love me a sexy cover. I love some of the best stuff. Like right now, this week, I think it was last Poison Ivy. Steven Stachek, one of my absolute favorite artists, did the best Poison Ivy cover I have ever seen. Like, there are ways to be respectful of the character, but when also putting out a pretty nice fucking cover.
Zerdy, if you had Nathan Zerdy do a cover, that would have been an instant, another $2 million you would have made. I guarantee.
But sex is toxic masculinity too? Since when? Sex is natural. Like, are you talking about, like, I know you spelled it funny because of the algorithm. But it's absolutely not toxic masculinity. Like, that's not even in the definition of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and that'd be something for the next one. I'm assuming that'll be a big feedback. At least I hope. I'm hoping.
Yes, I'm really hoping there aren't too many people blowing smoke at his ass, telling him that everything is perfect. Because look, these covers are not perfect.
They're not great. Like that cover, it's not a cover. I would
drop in some truth bombs. When I who was it? When people started getting their stuff, I was interested. Of course I am. To what people have to say. I watched somebody I didn't know, and then Max von Priestley, who's an awesome channel. You guys should check him out. But it was a lot of smoke, right? Like, maybe he was blown away. Maybe these people, like, thought it was the next best thing. But in the nicest way, like, Max reads a lot of books, right? He knows what he's talking about. I get not wanting to be mean in public, but I think if anyone should know, Drew should know I don't hide my opinions, as you'll see on tomorrow with my Born of Blood 2 review.
Would see that and be like, oh, it's an interior page.
Yeah.
And it just, yes, right off the bat.
The quality of the book is nice. I'll give him that.
Swear bound.
Yep.
Nice paper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about the story?
So I liked how you're dropped in to this lived-in world. This guy that we don't know.
How's that for a sexy cover? Let me bring it up on my phone before I show it. Liberty Comics. That's beautiful. Does she have pants? Oh, she does have pants. It just that's beautiful. Not the best drawing I've ever seen, but it's good.
Much about. We don't know anything about.
Nope.
And
we don't know anything about this world. We're, like you said, we're tossed into the middle of everything.
Yeah. And it's, which I like, as long as filled in later, which I assume it will be, because in this issue, we don't get.
See, I have an issue with that right away. And again, I haven't read it. I have an issue with that right away because there should be some sort of explanation. If you're just getting tossed, okay, I'll let it go.
Get told a whole lot as far as the story is concerned about this character that we're introduced to. So it can be a bit jarring. Some people may not like that type of storytelling, and that's fair. However, I didn't mind it.
No.
It's a pretty simple story.
Yeah.
For now.
Yes.
It's a world with superheroes, and he's trying to find somebody.
You know, I would say there's another comic just like this. It was called Thomas Valiant that came out. It was kind of the same thing. He dropped.
Drew, if you're still in the chat, Thomas Valiant was that RJ? I forget his channel name. Fourth Age, who's like, hey, I'm RJ. I'm pretty sure that's who did that, Thomas Valiant. You're nicer. Well, you didn't think it was bad? I didn't think it's bad. It's not the greatest art I've ever seen. She could use some bigger boobs. But it's not awful. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, yeah. That guy's voice. Like, at first, when I first seen his channel, I literally thought it was robotic because it was just, like, so perfect. But then I realized it wasn't, and I'm like, that guy. I've been trying to get him on for a debate because he did email me one time, and he was so nice. So fucking nice. He was doing some stats things, and he was like, I just looked, and your channel is actually beating, like, Comic Storian and da-da-da-da-da. Super, super fucking nice, right? And I'm like, okay. With that being said, you want to debate? Because your title of your last video was Women Don't Belong in Comics or something like that. And I'm like, he's too nice, though. Like, I can't be mean because he's a nice person.
Somebody.
You know, I would say there's another comic just like this. It was called Thomas Valiant that came out. It was kind of the same thing. He dropped you into the middle of a superhero universe going on. But what I didn't know until later on when he said it on the video is that his Thomas Valiant universe, that was his version of the Marvel DC amalgam universe. And you're tossed in the middle of all this. Like, whoa, this is so much going on right now for first issue. But this takes that and tones it down, which is good.
It does tone it down.
Yeah. So you have superheroes in this universe who are called the
Accepts.
Accepts. Yes,
Yeah.
the accepts.
I'm assuming short
Aren't they like literally X, like as an X-Men accepts? Okay.
for exceptional.
Yep, could be. Yep.
Mhm.
But you have our main protagonist here who may or may not be an accept.
We don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, like they call it out. There's a moment where something happens to him,
Mhm.
where any normal person would have died, but it's like
Yeah.
maybe he is.
Mhm.
But there's great characters in here. The dialogue is good. Dialogue is all
I would
good.
say for the most part,
Yeah,
some of it seemed a little stilted.
Yeah,
at
but
times.
I will say at no point was it like reading a Marvel book where the dialogue was interchangeable.
Correct. Each one.
You know what? And that's a really good point Drew makes. Obviously, I can't compare it to ISOM because I haven't read it, but or I don't plan to read it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. There has been not so much in the stuff I read because I'm particular, but there is, and it was one of the reasons I originally stopped buying a lot from Marvel was the interchangeability of the tone of voice. If you go back to the old Walking Dead, and I know I talk about the Walking Dead a lot, but have we had a character that's got such a unique voice as somebody like Eugene? I would say the most I can compare it to is in Grimm. There's like a old rocker dude that's dead and he's a Grim Reaper now, right? Like he's got his own voice and he's very unique. I think as readers, we crave a bit of the correct the little bit of different. Give somebody, even if it's just, the old rocker voice or Eugene, the Southern gentleman type thing. Those kind of things we crave. And a lot of times, even when it comes to like, Harley has a unique voice. I would say Jason Todd has his own unique voice. But sometimes you could even interchange the Batgirls, right? It wouldn't matter. We crave that individuality in comics. And unfortunately, sometimes that seems to get pushed to the side when it should be at the forefront. It really, really should be.
Had their own. I could felt like each character had their own voice.
Good morning, J Dubs.
Yes, and that was a good thing. I did feel like, however, there were times where I'm like, it's a little stilted. It's a little, I don't know. It's hard to describe. To me, it took me out of it a little bit. But for the most part, 99% of it, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, and now let's talk about the art.
Okay.
I would say the art is solid good. Now, when it comes to the fight
that was like, it's solid good, but... And I like Clifford. I liked his 06 protocol. I'm not super familiar with him, but I've seen some of his work.
With the art, they're not the strongest. They're okay, but really, there isn't that action-packed panel paper moment. I was really hoping we would have seen one moment where our hero was like, when he caught someone, you would see the jaw going to the.
Yeah, and I would agree with the same thing with Cliff on 06 protocol. The character is very much so a Mary Sue, and there's an explanation as to why she is, but you don't, even in the action scenes, it feels cookie cutter action.
Side or get knocked through a wall. Where they're supposed to happen, you don't get that. Because there's some fights in here, but you don't have those cool moments in it.
Correct. I felt like there were times where it felt like the camera was pulled back a little too far.
Actually, I would say there are several pages where it's pulled out way too far. When we need those close-ups, where we don't have them.
Right. There's that cover that we have that DC Deceased, where it's Power Girl and Supergirl and they're punching.
Yeah, like Mark the Sheriff.
It's too far away.
Out. Yes.
That's what I kind of felt like with this. I'm just like, you tighten that up, because there are times where some of these characters on this cover here show up, don't know who they are.
Nope.
We assume they're good. We don't know per se. And it's just kind of, you're just thrown into this action, and then it's just kind of over really quickly. And I'm just like, people can argue that there's not enough action in this, and that's a valid criticism. But if you have compelling characters and a strong story,
But the problem is I get what he's saying, but also in 96 pages, why isn't there enough action? One of the main criticisms I hear, and I watch, all of their videos. I'm going to be fair here. All of their stuff. Because they do top books and skip it, and I usually just put something stupid in the comments. Like, I generally just put something very stupid. Like, if Drew's worst book of the week is Son of Kal-El, I'm like, that's my favorite, even if I haven't read it yet, just to troll them. But a lot of complaints I do hear, like, Nubia sitting around talking. There's no action. There's you got to be able to sell somebody to come back, right? And I get Eric has enough influence, he'll get people to come back. But action is a main part of superheroics. You can have talking. You can have your, even decent amounts of talking. But yeah, I think that's a valid criticism. Very well thought out and stupid comics. Yeah, mostly stupid.
I don't necessarily need a lot of action, and there are two big action set pieces in this.
Yeah, which is fine, but like the problem, there aren't those money shot moments.
Correct. That's the big
And honestly, I've talked to certain artists about my book in comparison. Like I didn't have enough splash pages, and in this, seeing from an artist's perspective, there aren't enough big splash page moments in this.
No, not at all. And I was kind of let down by that. I'm like, oh, that would have been so awesome.
Yeah, there are great moments in here where it's like that was a wasted opportunity. You had it, but no.
There is a page in Drew's book that he's not talking about here, but and I'll talk about it tomorrow, where it just goes black and red and you just see the outline, the shape of Giaris. And she's oh my God. It's one of the prettiest pages I've seen in comics in a very long time. Very simple, but stunning, and it gets the point across.
So I'm not saying it wasn't like paint by numbers. It wasn't he took the time, and each panel was there for a reason, and I get it. I just felt having somebody there that could have been like, let's see this as a
someone should say, like, this is your money shot moment. Let me zoom in, have a great moment, like have a great cross across the face, show some teeth flying, jaw getting misplaced. There's your money shot moment for people to remember. You don't have that memorable page or panel,
right? And when a character like falls onto the roof,
the fact that he keeps using the word money shot is just, I have to keep quiet. I have to keep quiet.
Car,
you could have done that.
That was another one too far out.
You could have done it any kind of way. Really, you could have done it from the inside of the car. You could have done it from the top down, like right over. You could have done it from the side.
Yeah, you see like the car the tires go flying out.
Just, yeah. Or you see a hand over. It's like, oh shit. Like, yeah, that's your oh shit moment. And there were several oh shit moments.
Well, there should have been,
and I could tell they were, but it wasn't conveyed convincingly.
Yeah.
And so I never felt like this character was in any real danger at any time, really, when he should have been, which could have been more compelling at times when there's fights happening. I'm like, oh, is he really hurt or not? We don't know.
No. But yeah, we do. It is a setup book at the same time. We get set up with our villains, which are good. Yes, we have good villains. He's got good supporting characters, good family elements here.
I would be curious, Drew. Are they the whole thing that they've conveyed about those three villains was it's very like Sod-esque, right? Is that the case? Like without spoilers in the chat, obviously, for people that have bought this. I don't know. It just seems that way.
And an interesting female character that we're going to be seeing more of, which I thought she was interesting. She was cool.
Oh,
yeah. There's some couple funny moments in here, like me walking down the back alley in a hospital gown.
Like that world.
Yeah, got a chick checking him out. It's like,
nobody cares.
Yep, and he doesn't realize, hey, your ass is showing. Right? It's great. Yeah, there are some fun moments in here. So we're gonna sum this up 10 minutes in. We're gonna pull up our crowdfunding rankings. Kyle has not seen my ranking for this, and we're gonna share the screen.
I gotta make fun of you for this once it comes up.
Pull it up right here. Share. So I am putting this at a 6.5.
Hold on. I need to choose my words here carefully. Fucking nerds. Like, you made a PowerPoint presentation. Is this just like, it says crowdfunding rankings, right? Is this like a tier list, right? But do you only support like, are these only Comicscape books?
That's exactly where I was going to put it.
Really?
Yeah.
We did not talk about this beforehand. So right now we have Ison at 6.
Okay, 6.5. I said 6.3 earlier. I couldn't remember which one. Rippa sycophants are going to be so mad. I looked at the comments. They didn't look too bad. There was a couple of them. But yeah, you're going to get it a little bit.
0.5.
Yeah, that is exactly where I would put it. It is where it needs to be.
The only thing I've read of these is She. And that's because it's Billy Tucci.
I would consider reading it. It is not one. You need to run out.
Is that one called T-Man? Oh, First Man. Okay. Wait. Hold on a second. I thought you guys read Thin Blue Line? I thought I remember when I had you guys on that you said that was like we talked about maybe it was on your stream. Survival Street, and it was too far left, but you also don't support like stuff that's too far right. I thought I remember that.
out and get because it's that earth shattering. And it's not one that is just like, I probably wouldn't do it. I would consider, if you have the funds available to you and the book is available, consider picking it up and reading it. You can do significantly worse.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, you do worse. You could, like reading the first Jawbreaker.
Or you could get 7 or 8 not mainstream, indie projects at Image.
Or reading the second Jawbreakers, or the third, or some of the graveyard shifts.
Oh, wow. Math Flip a Coin. Oh, I remember that book, Xenotype. The art, I think I remember it being really, really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like with a lot of the crowd, like that's kind of where they're at. They're just in this 6.5 range where, yeah, if you have extra money, you consider reading it. If you're tired of DC and Marvel, which I get, and you want something else that's completely different from what you're going to get from the mainstream, that is this. Will it blow your hair back? No. But
I think that's fair.
I wasn't upset. Like, it's a big book. You get your money's worth. I will say that it is a nice, solid book, and it was entertaining to read. However,
there are some wasted opportunities.
Correct. Could it be shorter? Yeah. But then again, it's that we don't know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So he's setting.
But here's the thing. I had considered getting it for a video because a lot of people I've criticized publicly Eric July on a lot of his stupid takes, right? I'm not spending $35 on mediocre. I'm just not. And I think my first instinct was to not to. And to be fair, I don't support Comicsgate projects generally anyway, unless they like blow me away like Billy Tucci, right? It's Billy fucking Tucci. That's a little different. But generally I don't, because this is what happens. They're all just they're all pretending and being almost sycophantic about we're going to kill the mainstream industry, and then being subpar to something like Batman 128, right? Batman, if you haven't read Batman 128, I won't give out any spoilers, but goodness gracious, that's all I'm going to say.
Characters up and setting things up. You can clearly tell in this.
Figure drawing. If you want something that doesn't have enough action or cool splash pages, and the character is never in danger even though he should be, then get this book! Or just get Batman 128. Actually, the whole arc by Chip Zdarsky has been really good. Or Teen Titans Blood Pack, if you're more of a Teen Titans person. Like, there are so many good books out there right now. Bye, Jay. Thank you for stopping by.
Like the farmer and everything going on there.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, we have no idea where that's going to lead. It could go a myriad of ways, and that's exciting. So I don't want to say you can cut things out of here, but ramp up the action a little bit. Yeah, make it more serious. Make it like stay on those beats a little bit longer, I guess.
So yeah, in a nutshell, it's not better than the mainstream. Not even really action packed. You don't know shit about the character. You're just thrown in. And if you have the extra money, get it. If you don't, then fuck it. You don't need to read it. That's not how a first book should be, especially when you're on the marketing of I'm going to kill the mainstream. I am anti-woke. Well, he didn't say that, but everyone else said. The media did. Again, Rippa did great. Made himself a millionaire in a matter of a month. Good for him. Good for him delivering it also. He's doing a lot of what most Comicsgate isn't, right? He's doing a lot of what they aren't, and that is delivering a quality product when they say they're going to deliver a quality product, or quality is subjective here, right? When they say they're going to. But not for me. Not for me. Like, I don't have interest in subpar. I don't.
In a movie way, it's like, no, let that breathe. Like, I want to see the destruction, and make it more visceral, I guess.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. 6.5 for ISO number 1. Yeah, it's not terrible. No, it's not great.
It's not falling behind.
Get this book. It's not really great, but spend $35 anyway. You see why this is an issue? Yeah, let me drop their channel link too, so you guys can check them out. I'm not gonna lie, give it time. I would be afraid of not afraid because I've been there, done that, of the backlash you're going to get. But he seems pretty good so far. Seems pretty decent. I just, yeah, like Figure Drawing said, props for making apparently another boring superhero comic book. And I get enough of that. To be fair, there's plenty of that out there at a much cheaper price. Trying to pin it, but it's being an asshole, so that's fine. I don't have to justify it. I'm not supporting it. I'm not supporting mediocre. Like I have before, not realizing it. I've learned my lesson, and I won't now. Superman's biggest weakness in the decade's writer of increasing his power level. Now they can't even consider bringing it back to just a very strong man like in the 30s. Yeah. Not only that, but they're increasing John's also. Could you imagine if Marvel made this book? You know what? It would probably get roasted. And usually when it comes to indies, I'm a lot more forgiving, right? I'm just not. $5 is a much difference. Yeah, if you want boring, read Dark Crisis or anything in the X-Men titles. I actually, when I had Comic Breakdown on this weekend, I asked him where I should start with the X titles because he's a huge fan of it. But as far as Dark Crisis goes, I'm not I'm not overly impressed. I would say there's been a lot better stuff lately. But it's not awful. You got Daniel Saint-Pierre on art, which is phenomenal. A lot of the tie-ins you can just skip. But I thought this issue number 5 brought it together a little bit better and made us realize kind of that earmuffs, that Pariah is the big bad, right? Pariah is what is kind of, I don't know if he's like synergetically working with the darkness or what. I gotta look through it again. There's a lot of continuity shit in there that fucks with my head. Then again, Isam isn't as bad as some people hoped. Oh, I expected it to be much better. But honestly, I don't think people were there people rooting for it to be bad? And if that's the case, it's stupid. What? All right. Black Adam once again, the voice of reason in issue number 5. I think this week, as far as like books actually go, but if you're gonna read something, start with Batman. Like Batman is fucking phenomenal. There's a lot of books that are good this week, but Batman is one of the top. Also the Gotham Year one. Oh my God. I absolutely love this concept of Slam Bradley, like having Bradley back. Swords of Azrael, fucking phenomenal. I love is it Cy Spurrier? No, it's not. It's Dan Waters. I love both of them lately, but Dan Waters is a step above. Now, Nightmare Country is where it fucking confuses me. And me and Hooded Justice are going to do a retro of the whole thing. But I guess we're heading to Dead Boy Detectives. You're bored, and it's my job to entertain you. I intend to get my money's worth. What money? It's just you didn't pay me to do this? What? I'm so confused. I imagine you're a troll. I imagine so. But if you mean like your time and I'm not entertaining you, I understand I'm not very entertaining. Quite honestly, usually unorganized on top of that. So you're more than welcome to stay here if I'm not entertaining you. I guess probably not. Like I'm not. The tech you're using to produce this. Okay, well, you're not paying for it. So I am. I mean, I guess that's not even necessarily true. Any money I get from my channel goes into it from super chats and stuff like this. So personally, right now, Daniela is. She's the last one to super chat me. So that's my intellectual property. Bro, are you bored? Like, I get trolling someone, but are you bored? Are you bored? Bye, Elon. Have a good day. I appreciate it. Mask off, the Rippaverse, and Comicsgate for life. We are going to win. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about, Hominus? Are you bored? Or are you saying that's what they say? Oh my god, Victor, I'm glad you're so bored. I'm the real Slim Shady. No, motherfucker, I'm the real Slim Shady. Did anybody watch? I got like 3 to 5 minutes. Did anybody watch the last 2 Walking Dead's ending? And I know I don't have a whole lot of Walking Dead fans in here, but holy shit balls. I am so excited, but also kind of not wanting to happen because, like, we're seeing this Commonwealth and it's much. Nightmare Country ended last week. But much of what we're seeing is a play on different classes, right? The American dream, these kind of things. Keeping the poor poor, keeping the rich rich. And it's gotten to a head. And it is so good, but I know that so many people are going to die. And I am going to cry multiple times. I stopped watching it after Rick died. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything more episodes. Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out. You get to see adorable Judith. Not only that, but Maggie is amazing. Negan, come on now. Right? Come on now. I love Negan. And I'm so glad that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be on The Boys season, what is it, season 3 or 4, whatever, the next season. I'm so glad. And it's so freaking good. I know, but I can't. The show got slow for me. I can understand that. But I love The Walking Dead. It's so good. And I'm so excited for, like, Shelby a while back sent me a photo of wherever he lives. They were filming. And he got a snapshot of Negan. And it's a story about Negan and Maggie. I know I'm the only one in the world. But I totally ship it. I am that idiot that ships it. I am. I love The Walking Dead. It's so good. Anyways, all right, guys, I am going to wrap up. Oh, goodness. I'm assuming we realize now that these people that sell truth on the internet are snake oil salesmen, but it is fun to laugh at, right? It is fun to laugh at. Anyways, thank you guys for stopping by. I will see you next